Hey guys, Jackson here and welcome back to the channel. Episode 3 of The Last of Us aired this week, and like with episode 1 and 2, there will be a brief recap before my review of the episode. And as always, this is your spoiler warning for episode 3. We begin the episode with Joel and Ellie 10 miles west of Boston, near a creek in the woods. Joel is upset with Ellie and appears to be blaming her for the death of Tess, and gives her the silent treatment before Ellie tells Joel it isn't her fault and they chose to take her from the QZ. Ellie tries to make conversation on the 5-hour hike, and they finally have a fun back and forth with each other. Joel and Ellie reach Cumberland Farms, a gas station, or petrol station for us Brits, where Joel had previously stashed weapons and supplies. Whilst Joel tries to remember where his stash is, Ellie finds a hidden door to the basement and goes to explore. Ellie finds an infected human trapped under the rubble and barely alive. Ellie moves closer to him and appears fascinated by it, slicing its forehead with her knife before killing it. Ellie leaves the basement and doesn't tell Joel about the encounter. As Joel and Ellie continue their hike, they spot a plane wreckage. Ellie is jealous that Joel has been in a plane and got to go up in the sky, as they no longer operate or fly. Ellie quizzes Joel about how the pandemic happened, and Joel confirmed a popular fan theory that cordyceps mutated and contaminated the food supply, such as flour or sugar, and as it is a widely used ingredient eaten across the world, this is likely how it spread and outbreak day happened. Joel and Ellie come across an open grave, and Joel explains to Ellie that it's likely the people that are dead here weren't infected, as Fedra began rounding up people in the suburbs and countryside and transporting them to quarantine zones. Sadly for these people though, and like many others, if the quarantine zone was full, Fedra simply killed them to stop the spread. This transitions to a flashback on September 30th, 2003. We meet survivalist Bill, hidden in his basement and waiting for everyone to leave, before he comes out of hiding. Bill goes on a looting spree for supplies and energy, and begins setting up a perimeter around his home and surrounding area. This includes all kinds of traps to prevent any infected or humans from entering. Bill investigates an alarm trip and finds a man in one of his pits. The man in question is Frank, who reports he is trying to get to Boston. Bill eventually frees him from the pit after checking if he's infected, and Frank convinces Bill to let him in for a meal. Before you know it, Bill and Frank hit it off, and one thing leads to another. The majority of the episode showcases their relationship over the next 20 years, from the 2003 flashback to present day, as we see their romantic relationship develop and how they meet Joel and Tess. Joel and Tess have been trading supplies from the QZ with Bill and Frank for resources of their own, and eventually we witness the emotional end of Bill and Frank before returning to present day with Joel and Ellie arriving at their house. Ellie finds a suicide note and key to Bill's truck and reads it out loud to Joel. In the note he tells Joel to live his life and gives him the code for the bunker supplies. Joel and Ellie stock up and head on their way in Bill's truck to go find Tommy, Joel's brother, and the episode ends. Now, depending on your viewpoint here, you are either going to view this episode as a masterpiece and a near perfect episode of TV, or be in the camp of disappointment, as this is the biggest departure from the source material so far, and reaction has been very divided online. For those not familiar, Bill and Frank's story are completely different from the game, and Bill and Frank fell out with each other and lived separately. In fact, we didn't even meet Frank alive in the game. For me, I'm in the camp of this being a masterpiece of television. The acting from Nick Offerman and Murray Bartlett, who played Bill and Frank respectively, was stellar and brought me to tears by the end of the episode. I genuinely think this could be the best love story I've seen in television. My only negative is we spent hardly any time with Joel and Ellie in the present day, with both of them only featuring at the beginning and end of the 70+ minute episode, and I completely understand why some viewers would feel this was a filler episode. There was some fun moments between the two, and the interaction between Ellie and the infected human was unsettling. I'm looking forward to future episodes where hopefully their dynamic continues to evolve, and the focus is back on them. Final score, 9.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the episode. Do you agree with me, or did you not like it? If you're new here, then consider subscribing to my channel for regular TV, film and gaming content, including live streams. We're currently on the road to 50 subs, and thank you to anyone that has already subscribed. And as always, I hope to see you next time.